Hey guys, it's postboxpat. Welcome back to a brand new Fortnite storyline video, and today we're going to be talking about an Easter egg regarding a helicopter which is currently rotating around the map. It also links back to previous seasons and potentially could hint something coming in the future of Fortnite Battle Royale. So we're going to be going over that in today's video, but in tomorrow's video I will be covering the week 4 and week 3 and 4 I think it is. I think it's for week 3 and 4 loading screen. I know I've already covered the week 3 one, but we're digging into the week 4 loading screen and explaining what's going on in the Fortnite map regarding storyline and characters. So carrying on with the season 8 storyline will be in tomorrow's video, whereas in today's video it's more of an Easter egg type storyline, which is actually really intriguing and it's something which is currently taking place. Also guys, for those wondering, if you haven't already gone and entered my supporter credit code, go and do that with code postboxpat. It really does help out if you guys go and support smaller YouTubers, so like myself or anyone who's got less or similar subscriber count. Less than, I would say, 1 million is a small YouTuber, because you know, 1 million nowadays, a lot of people do have that compared to back when YouTube first came around, when 1 million was a massive goal, whereas 1 million now is still a massive goal for me, but compared to like how many people have it, it's not as big as it used to be, comparing to like the amount of people that have 1 million subscribers. So it's awesome if you guys could go and support me with code postboxpat or similar people. You can see all the people getting a shout out there who's gone and done that. So if you guys want to go and support me, go and enter code postboxpat, go and tweet me at postboxpat or message me in my Discord, and you can see all them people get shout outs, and you guys have got a chance of getting that. Anyway, let's jump straight into this and show you guys what is going on regarding these helicopters. So there's quite a bit of information regarding these, so it might take a while to get through, but to start with, we'll talk about the map in general. So the current location is outside of Lonely Lodge, and let's just take a little look at the helicopter as a whole. So looking at the helicopter, what do we have on it? So we see we have some sort of telescope, which kind of looks like it's spying, which is interesting, and we also have 2 standard seats where the helicopter will be getting piloted by, and it's just kind of similar to the helicopter which we had inside of Dusty Divot. So we're going to be going over all this information guys, and where the helicopter first took off from, and it's interesting to see it moving around the map. So what is this helicopter, and what is the first bit of information I want to give you guys? Well, that will be the location it took off. So you can see here I've got this picture from Reddit. I've also been sent a bunch of pictures as well, which I'll put in from a few subscribers, that the first location of this helicopter was located inside of, well, I guess it's not inside, but just on the outside of Sunny Stripes. You can see there in the coordinate, I believe it was the coordinate H2, which you can see right there, and now the helicopter has moved to the coordinate J4. So obviously this helicopter is going to be rotating maybe around the new area, around the map. I just want to quickly interrupt the video right there, because as I was editing the video I just noticed one little thing on the helicopter, which could be foreshadowing somewhere where the helicopter is going to land or set up a base in the future. Stay tuned for the rest of the video though, because I've got some interesting stuff and theories regarding it, but take a little look at this guys. So as I zoomed in on this helicopter, you can see the telescope. Now the telescope picture looks like there are big trees and some sort of mountain, kind of similar to the one over by Pleasant Park, but not. And then when I turn around, you know, that mountain is not that mountain. So whatever this reflection is here, could it be foreshadowing the future of where this helicopter is going to land? I don't know, it's a theory for you guys in the comment sections, but what is this helicopter? Who is in charge of it and who is controlling it? Now from the colour scheme, we can tell that it's the Fortnite government. Now we never actually came to kind of a definition who the government are, what are they doing, where are they in the Fortnite map? Well, from what we know, the government originally were in Dusty Divot, and they were in the Wailing Woods bunker that got built during season 5, I believe, where it got added in underneath the maze. Now currently the government don't really have a base at all on the Fortnite map. They aren't located anywhere. I only call them the government because that's what a lot of people have been calling them in the past. I'm going to refer to them as the government for now because it just makes it a lot easier and a lot of people understand it. But you can see, you know, this used to be the government base down here, and this is the sort of logo we used to see on the trucks and stuff back in season 4, but currently they have no base. So maybe they've sent something in to scout for a new location, because obviously their map has been invaded by a huge volcano and the Fire King. We also have a telescope which still remains up here with the chair, which I used to think was the director's chair, kind of hinting towards maybe something to do with the Blockbuster skin and all that storyline with the rocket and stuff like that. So we could potentially see that taking place again with the visitor. So I'm pretty excited to see what's going on, because that is the same telescope that we are seeing inside of these helicopters. So that's pretty interesting stuff going on right there, and obviously seeing it rotate from sunny to lonely, which means it potentially is probably going to rotate again. I don't know 100% if it's going to rotate around the entire map around the edges, or is it just going to rotate around the new zone. I feel like it would make more sense if it rotated around the volcano, but we'll have to see where the next location of this helicopter is going to be. It looks like it moved in 3 days. I'm pretty sure it's got added in within the new update. I forgot to cover it on my channel. I know it was a few things that people were tweeting me and messaging in the comment section and stuff like that. You know, I'm sorry about that. I missed the helicopter. It was one little thing in the map changes, but where could it be going next? I assume it'll probably land somewhere like here or keep rotating around the volcano, but we'll find out in the next few days, and I'll cover it on my channel to keep you guys up to date with where it's going. If it does decide to go around the entire map, that will be an interesting concept, because from what we can tell from the helicopter design, it does look very, very similar to the government's design, and we know that the government currently don't own any area or like land, should I say, in the Fortnite map at all. So it's interesting to see that going on. So this helicopter, to me, feels like it has to do with the government. Now, what were the government and what part did they play in the Fortnite storyline? Well, for those wondering that question, the only thing they really did was sort out the meteor mess and also sort out Dusty Divot, but they didn't realize that the visitor was inside of that huge kind of meteorite until suddenly he broke out, and obviously the government didn't have the tech to figure it out. They got overrun inside of Dusty Divot, and obviously that got overgrown, and then he moved to the Wailing Woods bunker to kind of extract stuff and find more information. Unfortunately, their bunker got destroyed by a volcano, and now we don't see them having anything at all on the map. The most interesting thing where that helicopter could be going is it actually could be going to the bunker all the way over at Polar Peak, which could make sense. They may want to move their base to a different bunker, so they could decide to take that helicopter all the way around to the other side of the map over at the bunker over by Polar Peak. Another interesting thing to consider as well regarding this is potentially in the past we saw a lot of army assets get added into the game. Maybe they could move somewhere and set up something like that, like an army camp / army base somewhere where the government could kind of deploy their troops or deploy their research from, which would be an interesting concept as well. We can see this is the bunker potentially they could be moving to, which would be perfect for them, and we could see the interior for that be redesigned and stuff, and this whole island here could get redesigned in a week, like map change or something like that, you know, because there aren't any map changes currently really going on in the snow area, so I guess that would be a pretty big map change to happen. Also, regarding stuff that I found on Reddit which are relevant to this, it's quite a big topic on Reddit at the minute. A lot of people have been tweeting about it. We also have this one. So credit for this one is Fortnite Battle Royale HQ, and you can see here helicopter has been added in game. We know that, and possibly teases a new place getting destroyed like Moisty and Dusty, because if you don't know already, Moisty also had a helicopter and Dusty also had a helicopter. You can see them there in that screenshot. Interesting to know, I'm pretty sure the helicopter inside of Dusty that we had was not the same as the current helicopter we've got. I feel like it was more of a different, like Apache type design, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It could have been the same helicopter, but it definitely looks pretty similar, but not 100% exactly the same. It looks a little bit more curvy, the helicopter we've got, whereas the old one, I think it was quite a sharp helicopter. You could see it, you could kind of like, you could see the front of it a little bit more in more detail, what I can tell from the picture anyway. But anyway, what else then we found on Reddit? Well, we've actually found some more interesting sources. This one here was someone telling us that Moisty, or the jungle area in Moisty Maya, could be reappearing in the game. What makes people say this is obviously the helicopter at first, and then also people are saying that the new kind of RV type vehicle over where the helicopter currently is by Lonely Lodge potentially could hint towards that as well. If you guys remember, this RV truck was originally located inside of the Moisty Maya film set, and that's this RV truck over here. It's this RV with kind of like the stars on it. I think this was one that was 100% in the film set, so maybe whoever lives in here, if anyone even lives here, did live upstairs, is one of them weird kind of sleeping bags in the attic. Not in this one. So whoever kind of comes here, because obviously no one lives here, I don't see any beds or anything, maybe they just live inside the camper truck. Oh yeah, they will do. Silly me. The people that live here potentially could have been Moisty Maya owners. Maybe they're trying to establish a new Moisty Maya area in this zone over here, and maybe this helicopter could be them. So we can kind of link them two together potentially. We're not 100% sure on it though. Obviously Moisty Maya was set as a film set rather than the government, but we still don't know if that camper van could have some sort of relationship with the government. We're not 100% sure. And for those wondering, from what I can tell from the season 4 storyline, storyline. I personally do believe that the government did have something to do with the season 4 film between Omega and Carbide. They kind of covered up the fact that there was something inside of the meteorite by having this fake film taking place, and then suddenly the meteorite opened up that the government potentially planned, and obviously they didn't know it was going to open up, but they planned the film to disguise the fact that the meteorite could have been a threat to the Fortnite universe, and then we had the threat from the rocket and the visitor, and obviously that caused several things to happen to the Fortnite map, and so many things happened which has changed it to the way it is today. So interestingly enough to see that sort of stuff going on right there. So pretty interesting now, this topic. I'm pretty excited to see where it's going to take us in the future. I do think we potentially could see a location get destroyed regarding this helicopter hinting towards something. Obviously the helicopter has moved slightly from previous locations. From what we know, the helicopter no longer will be staying in like this area over here. I guess it will be kind of rotating around it or rotating around the map. It won't be just staying at like Lonely or over by what's it called? I always forget the name of it because I just don't land there enough. Sunny Steps. So yeah, it could be staying either by Sunny or Lonely. So we'll have to see where the helicopter is potentially going to go. I guess it's not going to. It's probably going to rotate. But let me know in the comment section down below if you think the helicopter is going to rotate around the volcano. If the helicopter was to rotate around the map, where would you as a government kind of creator, or whatever you want to call it, as the Fortnite developers, or maybe someone from the Fortnite government, where would you want to set up your base? Where would be the safest location right now? If it was me, I'd say Tilted Towers. You know, Tilted Towers have never really been affected. I wouldn't set it up in that building at Tilted Towers, the one that always gets destroyed, but I'd rent out a different building, maybe this side over here. I'd rent one of them out and set the government base up in there. I know it's a pretty busy zone, but it could be a good area. Also, Fatal's been in the game for a while. Lucky, these sort of locations would be a good location to set up at. Paradise, I feel like that potentially could go during season 9, so I wouldn't expect them to set up in Paradise Palms. Polar, I don't know. Polar Peak, that sort of snow biome, I do feel like in season 9 most of that will probably end up melting due to it being like a summer type of season. I feel like that island note off the edge could potentially be a really good government island. They could even connect 2 bridges across and start building something, because even if the snow melts, I don't think it would really affect them on the island, because most of it would already go into the water rather than the island. So that's my biggest prediction if I had to predict somewhere. But you know, to be honest, I don't see them building a place just yet, but we'll have to see where the Fortnite storyline is going to take us with this one. It's a really cool Easter egg. I'm glad that I have come across this. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to go and leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new around here, consider sticking around, and don't forget to go and enter my supporter creator code in. Leave a comment down below what you think of all this theories and all the Reddit theories that have been going on as well. Interesting stuff, and I'm really excited to see what is going to happen. And once again, this is postboxpat signing out.